Hey guys, so I wanted to come on here real quick. I have had tons of people asking me this particular question. And so I thought I'd come on here live and just chat with you guys about it because I know that a majority of my friends on Facebook are in network marketing, you're in direct sales. Probably many of you are in network marketing in your business part-time, maybe just as a little side gig, but you're wanting to go full-time, but one of the things that may be holding you back or one of the things that may be confusing to you is, what do you do if you quit your corporate America job that provides healthcare, but you go into network marketing and now what? Maybe you've probably looked at the plans here in the United States. I mean, our stuff is dealt with completely different than other countries. So that's a disclaimer. I am in the United States. But here's the reality is for me personally, I've been in the network marketing industry really part-time for about, I would say 13 years. And really just the last 5 years, almost 5 years, it's been full-time for me. The difference though, until about 2 years ago, hey Barbara, the difference was until about 2 years ago, we had healthcare coverage from my husband's job. Okay, so for us, it was not a big deal. We have 2 kids. For us, for as long as I've been full-time in network marketing, we have been with healthcare coverage through my husband's work. But here's the reality, and this is something totally to consider. If you're doing really well in your network marketing company, you need to factor in before you quit your corporate America job, factor in healthcare. So do me a favor. I honestly think this is a really important message for people who are in network marketing, for people who are in direct sales, for any business, any company where you're looking to quit your job at corporate America where you would not be with healthcare and going on your own. Do me a favor and hit the little comment section below and hit the share button. Share this with a friend, in a group, with somebody if you think this would be of value to them. I'm going to share my own personal experience of when I had a cancer diagnosis without healthcare coverage and how we dealt with that, what we did. So 2 years ago, we brought my husband home from corporate America. That was a mutual decision. I retired myself from my corporate position first. And then we retired him from his corporate position. And so the deal is that when we retired him from his corporate position, we lost our healthcare coverage. Now for us, the reality is I never get sick. We literally never get sick. Not even so much as a common cold. We really, really don't. We're very fortunate in that way. Both of our kids are kind of the same way. They just don't really get sick. I have always joked, I don't know if it's kind of like foreshadowing or what, but I've always kind of joked that if I get sick, I do it big. I don't even get the sniffles, but if I get sick, I'm in the hospital. Well, lots of you guys know, it was actually right at almost, it was 9 months ago, I was diagnosed with a very, very rare cancer. And I'll talk about that in a second, but it's wow, really? Of course, I don't even get a cold, but I get cancer, so whatever. So I want to share with you how we dealt with that, okay? So it was June or July of last year. We had been completely without health care for about a year. We had retired my husband from corporate America and we were literally just kind of riding that wave, of having no coverage whatsoever. We did have cash reserved, so I strongly recommend, this is why it'd probably be a good thing to share. I strongly recommend that if you are going to quit your job, have reserves in the bank, have a good size cushion, 5 times more than you think you're gonna need, because things happen. We're not talking about you're blowing a tire on your car or your air conditioner going out. I'm talking if somebody has a kidney infection, you're talking $4 grand if you don't have insurance, okay? So put money in savings. But one of the best decisions that we've ever made is we actually signed up for myself and our 2 kids to be covered under a medical sharing community. It was Christian Healthcare Ministries medical sharing community. And I had never heard of such a thing. We looked into it because my husband, he's a disabled veteran. He's rated with a disability from his time in the Marine Corps. And so if anything catastrophic happens with him, he's covered. So he's got his stuff made, right? But for me and the kids, we had nothing. So like if one of us broke a leg, if one of us got pneumonia, if one of us, like anything like that, it would be bad, like really bad, you know? I mean, a lot of times people say, financial advisors say that like one illness, you're one major illness away from bankruptcy. Most people are. We could get into a whole nother topic about why residual income and having a network marketing business or something that you can do from your phone or online, in addition to what you're currently already doing, is a good idea, because having just a few $100s extra a month that you can sock away into savings for things like that could very well be a game changer for you. But for us, you know, we had already like crossed that bridge. We already quit, done with corporate America. We're all in. So we signed up for this medical sharing community. I'm not affiliated with it. This isn't like some network marketing thing. So we did that in June. And then, this is crazy. So over the course of 3.5 years, I had a lump on my shoulder. Now, the lump on my shoulder, I had looked at 2 times by 2 different dermatologists, medical professionals. They looked at my shoulder, and both times they said, it's nothing. You know, I'm a redhead. I'm a natural redhead. I'm a fair-skinned redhead at that. I get, like, they call them lipomas. I get cysts, I mean, every once in a while. And so honestly, they thought that's all it was. It's just a lipoma. It's just a cyst. It's like nothing you can do. In fact, the second dermatologist cut it open and gave me stitches, cut it open. They were looking for something to take out. They were looking for a cyst to remove, like a sac or something. Didn't find anything. It was just a fatty pocket. They did not do a biopsy on that. Can you believe it? Almost 4 years of having a growth. Like I used to call it like my best friend, my sister from another mister. It's literally, I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was a bump on my shoulder. And I'd had that for almost 4 years, and I had it seen twice, and nobody did anything. Both times they said, it's nothing, just deal with it. It's just like, welcome to being fair-skinned. It's genetics, right? Well, then it started getting really painful. And during this time, we had signed up for the Christian Healthcare Ministries, the medical sharing, right after we moved here to our dream home on the river. And we said, okay, let's get stuff squared away. Our daughter was going to be traveling a lot. I didn't want her traveling all over the country without healthcare coverage, right? So I'm a mom, and we set all that up. So then, like normal, it was time for my yearly dermatology checkup. Get your bumps and moles and freckles checked, y'all. So it was time for that yearly checkup. And at my dermatology appointment, I pointed out my best friend over here, my bump. And I said, you know, it's starting to get painful now. Like, it's keeping me up at night. I'm waking up in pain. I can't even wear a bra. Like, it hurts. Like I would be in the middle of a grocery store and it would be shooting sharp pain. It wasn't growing that much. It was still pretty much the same size. So the dermatologist here, now get this, y'all. This is a tiny town. I moved from Dallas, Texas, 8 million people, the best medical professionals, like, right? A ton of great doctors. To this tiny little lake town, vacation town. We live in Hiawassee, Georgia. It's literally, there's like less than 1,000 actual residents here. We're literally on the river, mountains and lake, and it's just this tiny little vacationer's town. And we went to a dermatologist at the town over in Blairsville. And I said, you know, I'm just here for my thing, but this really hurts. And I've had them look at it twice, and nobody's done a biopsy, and I just don't know what to do. I mean, I was just ready to say, I don't care what it is. Like, if you have to charge me for just a cosmetic procedure just to get it off of me and make it stop hurting, I'm willing to do that. This dermatologist actually immediately, I mean, we're talking like within minutes, he was like, get me he got all the equipment and stuff, and they did an immediate, they sliced it off. I don't know what it's called, barber, I don't know what that's called, whatever they do when they slice it, like a fillet. They sliced off the top of my lump, of my bump there, and they ran it off for a biopsy. 2 weeks later, I got the phone call. We're so sorry, but it is cancer and it is malignant. So of course, when you are full-time in network marketing and you don't have healthcare coverage, and quite frankly, it was just a couple months prior to that, we signed up for this, Christian Healthcare Ministries medical sharing program. We really didn't even look at all the pamphlets and books or anything like that to know really what we were signing up for. We just thought that'd probably be a good idea if somebody breaks a leg or something. I'm thinking, oh crap, how do you have a cancer diagnosis as a full-time network marketer with no traditional healthcare insurance, right? I mean, anybody would think, I'm screwed, right? So it was all very fast from there. Leiomyosarcoma is not sarcoma. It is not a skin cancer. Sarcoma is a skin cancer as well as melanoma. Leiomyosarcoma is, it's Leiomyo, leiomyosarcoma. It is the cancer inside of a smooth muscle. It grows on a smooth muscle, and so smooth muscle is everywhere in your body. It's a very, very rare cancer. My oncologist called me a literal unicorn. And it's a very rare cancer. Your smooth muscle is basically, the way they described it is anywhere that your skin can get goosebumps. So like the involuntary smooth muscle that makes your skin goose like that, that's your smooth muscle. It's also all over your insides, around your organs, all over your abdominal cavity inside. It's not like necessarily attached to one organ. It's literally just everywhere. It's truly everywhere. Most of the time, like if you go to Google, like y'all are my friends, so if you go to Google and you type in leiomyosarcoma, the prognosis is not good for a lot of people, because a lot of times when people have leiomyosarcoma, a diagnosis like that, and it's malignancy, a lot of times, most often, that type of cancer is not found until it's too far gone. Really, really late in the game. Most often, leiomyosarcoma is found at stage 4 or higher. And most times the prognosis is not good. And so when they said, this is a very, very rare cancer, not only that, the fact that it was right here on my shoulder, on the outside where they could actually see it, you guys, that's like a unicorn getting struck by lightning. It's just so rare. It's so rare, and I feel grateful and blessed for a lot of different reasons. For number one, that we moved to this tiny little town that I hadn't even heard of until we watched HGTV and saw like, what's Hiawassee, Georgia? Like, we had never even heard of this area. That's where the dermatologist who found it happened to be. That's one reason. The other reason is that it became painful enough that I decided, I don't care what I have to do, I have to get this off of me. It hurts. I had dealt with it for years, and I'm grateful that it became excruciatingly painful, because that's what made me go, and be willing to pay. I didn't care how much it cost, thousands of dollars, I didn't care. So I'm grateful for that. I'm also just really, really grateful that it was literally right here. So I want to show you guys. I posted a picture a few weeks ago of it, but so basically my tumor was right there. That's where my cyst was this little right there. So they basically did a wide excision all through here, and then they had to go all down my shoulder blade. So I had my oncology surgeon who took out a wide excision about the size of my whole palm. And then they had the plastic surgeon come in and literally he reconstructed my shoulder. So if you push on it, this is the one area of my body, y'all, that I don't have any body fat. So that's a blessing. So if you push on it right there, it's literally it's muscle and bone. They took all of it down all the way as far as they could, a wide excision. They got it all, clear margins. The tumor itself, y'all, was the size of a quarter. But they took all of that. So I had phenomenal surgeons. Again, I mean, like, who would have thought? But, I had to go down to Atlanta. Let's see, my diagnosis was like mid-September. And they had me in there, I think 3 weeks later, around there, on 10/10. So I knew it was going to be successful surgery because it was on 10/10, 10 out of 10, 100%. It was going to be a good surgery. And then the fun began, right? So it's like when you have a situation like this and you get diagnosed with malignant cancer, or anything really, you do what you got to do to save your life. You do what you got to do. It doesn't matter how much it costs. You're not thinking about money at that point. You're really not. You're thinking about just fix it. Just do what you got to do. I prayed so hard for steady hands for my surgeons, for the right people to be in that operating room. I prayed for them. I prayed for all their education to come like flooding back to their brain. I did everything I knew how to do. But when you're in a situation like that, it becomes out of your hands. So after the surgery went great. Great support. You all know my husband. I mean, he was there literally doting on me every second. I don't think he left my side for a single second, except for when I was in the operating room. The surgery was a few hours. I got out into recovery and I healed phenomenally. They have cool technology. I had some weird vacuum thing that like kept the pressure on my shoulder because it's a weird thing. Like I couldn't lift my arm. I couldn't do anything really, right? So they had to like make sure that everything was like sticking to where it's supposed to stick. So during my recovery time, that was really the first time I thought, oh, what now? I don't have insurance. Like I don't have like just pay $100 deductible, right? So we started looking through our Christian Healthcare Ministries packet. And we realized that, wound vac, thank you, Barbara. So we realized what it does is it is a Christian Healthcare Ministry sharing program that we had signed up for a few months prior to all this. And if you have a diagnosis of something, so it's not like you have a cold and you're gonna go get like, your cold medicine. It's not like that. It's like a catastrophic type of thing, right? So if you have a diagnosis for something, my dog really wants me to pick him up. So if you have a diagnosis for something while you're covered, then they will allow you to submit for reimbursement. So here's how that worked. We had to pay everything 100% out of pocket. Thank God for network marketing. That's what I'm saying right now. We had to pay 100% out of pocket. And as you know, they don't send you sympathy cards after you are done with your surgery and all that. They send you bills. So the bills started coming in, and it was like labs and pathology and surgeons assistants and lab assistants and x-rays, and all of this stuff just kept coming in like crazy. So we had to compile all of that, right? We get all of that taken care of and put it all into a folder. My husband is a saint. He did all of that stuff. He compiled all of those receipts. We paid for all of it 100% upfront. Then what you do is you submit it to them, right? And then you really start to pray, and you submit it all to them, and you have to prove that it was a diagnosis during the time that you were covered through CHM, and all of that. And then we waited, and we waited, and we waited, and we waited, and it was literally like, I think it was 6 months, seven months now. Like we just received the check a month ago. So I had my surgery in October, and we received our check in late May. So it's not like just pay for it and you'll get it back right away. Like it doesn't work like that. But here's the thing. When you have a really big catastrophic kind of thing, to have that come back where they'll pay you back, they'll reimburse it, that was a huge blessing for us. So what we did is when we went into the doctors and had all the plastic surgeons and all of this kind of stuff, every single time we went in to pay, we asked for the best price. We said we were a cash pay patient because we were paying literally out of our own pocket. And they gave us the discounts and stuff they can apply. That's super important. But it worked out really, really well. So I wanted to come on here because for network marketers, for people in direct sales, you know, a lot of times that's the dream, right? Like that's the end goal, is to get out of your corporate America job in most cases. For a lot of people, you love what you do and you want to do it forever, and also network marketing, and that's phenomenal. But if you are in a situation where you want to quit your job, but you're not doing it because you're worried about the healthcare side of things, I just want you guys to share this out and to tell people there are other options. You know, for us, when we were looking at through the United States, we were looking through like the healthcare plans offered through our government and all of that. This is not a political discussion, y'all. But you know, when we were looking at it, it was like, and again, we never get sick. So for us, we were looking at premiums upwards of like $1,500 a month, and then you still have to pay for stuff. You still have to pay for like huge deductibles and 50% of that and 80% of this, and until you meet like $10,000 per person a year of medical. Well, here's the thing: I don't ever get sick. I mean, like, other than this cancer thing. Like, we don't get sick, we don't get colds, we don't have allergies, I'm not on medications, I'm not, like, we don't ever, I would never meet that deductible. So I was really kind of irked, like, why would I want to pay $1,500 a month we don't get sick. CHM, for the three of us, like I said, my husband is covered because he's rated disabled by the military for his time in the Marine Corps. And so he's good to go. He's got his healthcare coverage. But for me and our two kids, it's only $300 a month that we're paying to belong to the CHM. And so for us, I mean, that it's really only for big time catastrophic OMG kind of moments. Broken leg, you know, whatever, that kind of stuff. But that was a lot better, you know, a lot easier pill to swallow, so to speak. So anyway, so that's the one we signed up for. It has turned out phenomenal. We're super grateful to CHM. My friend Beth actually told me about it. She's a financial advisor and deals a lot with this kind of stuff, helping people like get out of debt and all that kind of stuff. And I was chatting with her about it. And she's like, you've got to look at that, because that was one of the discussions that we had of like, I want to bring my husband home from corporate America. I've never had healthcare insurance on my own because I've always been in network marketing, and but I really wanted to bring him home. You know, that was my big goal. That was my big dream, is to like get him out of corporate America, and I did. You know, 5 months into our company. But then we were kind of like, oh man, now what? Now no insurance. That's a gamble. You're playing Russian roulette, right? Like, what if you don't expect to ever have any kind of thing happen, but what if it does? So my friends in network marketing, for those of you who you're not quite sure, like if there's even another option, please share this. I do think it's an important thing for people to know that network marketers, you do have options out there. You do not have to be like with the golden handcuffs of your healthcare coverage. I know that other countries have different options, and that's wonderful. But if that's something you're looking for, I think you should definitely look into it. It's been great for us. It did take a really long time though to get that reimbursement. So my main message is save. Save before you quit your full-time job. Make sure your income far exceeds what you need it to. Have money in savings. Have a lot more money in savings than you think you're gonna need. That's my best piece of advice, because we would have been just seriously up a creek if we didn't. If we didn't have the money to pay for everything, a cancer diagnosis, y'all, plastic surgery, oncology, x-rays, labs, pathologies. If we didn't have the money to pay for that up front, it would have been really, really hard. We would have figured it out. You know, my husband's brilliant. We would have figured it out. I'm smart. He's smart. We've got great supportive friends and family. We would have figured it out. But it would have been a really huge stress if we didn't have the funds to pay for it all up front. And if we didn't know that we had that as a plan B, as an option, that we would probably get it reimbursed, which we did. They literally sent us a big old check to cover all of the bills that we submitted for, which I will say were about 75% of the costs that it would have cost if you had traditional insurance. So that was an eye-opener. They'll give you like 50 to 75% off if you pay in cash if you don't have insurance. So anyway, it was it's just been a huge blessing. So share this out if you've got friends in network marketing, if you got friends who are concerned about this. I know it's not a topic that we usually talk about a lot, but I know that a lot of you guys are in network marketing and direct sales, and I thought it was an important message. And again, just so you know, I'm totally cancer-free. There is no worries at all. I have a cool, I'll show you guys. I have a cool gnarly scar. We moved to the river. We are literally 100 miles into the Appalachian Trail. So there's mountains and stuff. So I can totally tell people that I got in a fight with a bear. So it was called leiomyosarcoma, and the insurance, I'm not sure which one you're asking about, but the insurance, it's called Christian Healthcare Ministries, CHM, and just check it out. It's great. I'm not affiliated or whatever. It's not a company like that, but it was a huge blessing for us, and I'm all good. Margins are clear. I didn't have to have any kind of chemo, radiation, none of that. I'm all good. So thank you guys so much. I get messages all the time asking how I'm doing and all of that, and I'm so good. The only side effect that I've had from my entire ordeal is obviously I've got a really cool souvenir scar. My mom bought me a unicorn necklace because my oncologist literally called me a unicorn. And it's totally numb right here. Like if you poke me on my shoulder, I won't feel it. That's it. So I'm totally good. I'm totally, my bill of health is clear. I've actually been officially released to my oncologist. I go back to to my dermatologist. I go back to see my oncologist in October on 10/10 for my 1-year appointment, and that's when they will officially release me. No more oncology appointments. God willing, they will continue to do chest x-rays and stuff like that every once in a while, because if it does come back, if it does spread, that's where it'll go. So we will always keep up with that. I will always keep up with my dermatology checks. That is my public service announcement to you guys. Keep up with your dermatology checkups, especially if you have naturally red hair, if you have naturally fair skin. Really anybody should go to a dermatologist and get your stuff checked. Don't ignore lumps and bumps. Another public service announcement is if something is persisting, even if a medical professional dismisses it and says it's nothing, but you feel that something is not right, get another person to look at it. Get another person to look at it. Keep getting people to look at it until you get answers, especially if something's hurting or doesn't look right. That's what I did, and it took me 4.5 years to get it taken care of, but that's my story. So anyway, I just wanted to come on here and share that. Again, please share this video for your friends in network marketing, for your friends who are just entrepreneurs in general, wanting to quit their traditional job and leave without traditional healthcare insurance, and they just don't know if there's other options. Share this out. I think it would be a really good value, and who knows? I mean, it literally could save somebody's life. Gosh, at least it could save their wallet. So anyway, Christian Healthcare Ministries. Yep, somebody typed it in here below. If you guys have any questions, let me know, but I'm not, I don't work for them or whatever. So anyway, all right, I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you enjoyed this video and got to get a sneak peek of my cool gnarly unicorn scar. And thank you guys again for all the blessings and prayers and thoughts. I very much appreciate all of you guys for your well wishes over the course of the last several months. But I've had great support, and I feel fantastic and all clear. So anyway, I love you guys and hope this was helpful, and I'll see you guys on another video. Bye guys.